It is so great to be back in person. Thank you, everybody, for turning up. I mean, the past few years have been online, and that's okay, but, you know, admit it, you've missed Goettingen. And you've missed the Freizeitin, which I'm very glad to see is still here and doing well and providing the same services that we've come to expect. So first of all, I'd like to thank our sponsors, if I can remember, because the slides have gone, that's my fault. Cernet, Google, Microsoft, and am I missing somebody? I am missing somebody and I've forgotten. Never mind. But thank you so much for the sponsors for funding the conference, to Cernet especially, obviously, for hosting it. And it's raining, which of course is exactly what I expect from Goettingen and what the weather report promised me all week. I was very disappointed when I turned up here at the weekend and it was sunny and nice. I thought, this isn't the Goettingen I know and love. So yes, things are back to normal and it's raining. So I'd just like to take a few moments and talk about terrible things. So I am at a new company. Things are not going so well in the world right now. So as I said, I've started a new company, CIQ, and I was laid off in the big Google layoff. And I don't know whether anyone has seen the TV series on HBO called Silicon Valley. It's a very, very accurate depiction of life in California and in Silicon Valley. And so I'm going to play a little clip which is how you imagine a layoff in Silicon Valley might go. And this is basically the, where is, okay, here we go. Where is the, do I double click, Ralph, or?
Just double click.
Right, okay, double click. This is the CEO of a thinly disguised Google called Hooli in the show, who has a very difficult decision to make. So, hello, startup.
Thank you all for coming on such short notice. I have a difficult announcement to make. We in the tech business often refer to failure as a good thing. Failure is growth. Failure is learning. But sometimes failure is just failure. I think... I'm sorry. I didn't think it would be this hard. But goodbyes are always hard, especially when I am the one saying goodbye. Today, effective immediately, I, Gavin Belson, founder and CEO of Hooli, am forced to officially say goodbye to the entire Nucleus division. All Nucleus personnel will be given proper notice and terminated. But make no mistake, though they're the ones leaving, it is I who must remain and bear the heavy burden of their failure. It is my fault. I trusted them to get the job done. But that is the price of leadership. Thank you.
That was the gutsiest thing I've ever seen. Amazing.
Yes, indeed, and that's how you imagine it would go. But like most things in the Silicon Valley show, it is toned down from real life. Amazingly enough, if you've seen the show, my old boss at Google was a consultant on the show, and we used to tell the makers of the show stories, and they would have to tone them down for the show. They would have to make them less unbelievable, because nobody would believe the real things that went on. And as with that, the reality of being laid off in Silicon Valley is you're lying in bed in the morning, looking at your laptop, reading CNN, and, oh, my company just laid off 12,000 people. Oh, I better go check my email to see if it's anyone I know. Oh, my email doesn't work anymore. This is a bit of a sign. Anyway, so there are the layoffs, which have then since spread to just about everywhere. And then, of course, I don't know if you have been following, this is probably a very specific, no, I was going to say it's only specific to the US, but it happened in Switzerland as well. And the banks have started to fail. Oh, that's great. That's just what we needed. And so I have another clip illustrating this, and this is from the last time the bank started to fail and got bailed out, which was in 2008. And the late and great Robin Williams, American comedian, was being interviewed on a TV show, and here is his take on how the bankers got themselves in the mess that they did. In a second. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Just clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. That's because I got my glasses on and I can't see.
I talked to them about being like a group of junkies who've relapsed, going, listen, man, I just need some liquidity, you know what I'm saying? I just ran into some bad subprime, you know? We just had complex formulas. We just didn't factor in greed and panic, you know? I just need $805 billion by Tuesday. Yeah, no, seriously. No, I would not screw you again. It's pretty crazy.
I've learned my lesson.
No, baby, this is not like the other time. No, seriously, I just throw me a bad here, baby.
Just give me,
help me out.
Just give me a little bit.
Yeah, just a taste. That's all I need is a taste. I need $2.5 trillion. I'll pay you back.
Get me through 1 week.
Yeah, it's like they're going to print out a new $20 bill. The new Goettingen $20 bill will be, instead of "In God We Trust," it'll just say "Trust me," and it'll be the little man from Monopoly going like this.
Yes. So we have the bank's not doing so well at the moment, which could affect all of us. And then, of course, and I'm so glad you guys are in the front row, there is the French, who, let's see if we can get this working. Come on. There we What? Yeah, here we go. What can you say? Never change the French. And of course, that is the very illustration of the classic internet meme. Yes, even if the world descends into a Mad Max hellhole behind them, a good glass of wine is important. Especially for the French. Yes, go away. There we are. Right. And of course, if I maybe mildly serious for a moment, there is also the spectre of war haunting Europe again, which none of us thought we would ever see in our lifetimes. But having said all that, the world is a terrible place, getting worse. As the Chinese would say, we are living in interesting times. But the one thing I think we can rely on, because we've seen it before, is that open source survives. And in terrible, horrible times like this, open source is something that maintains itself and is still available to use, and people tend to choose because it's the cheaper option. Let's be honest. And I always like to say that after the world ends and the apocalypse and we're all living in a Mad Max dystopia, the only thing remaining will be cockroaches and Samba developers. Because I can't say this for the rest of the team, but I do Samba because I have to, not because I'm paid to. I can't leave the code alone, and I keep working on it. No matter what job I'm doing, no matter what I'm supposed to be doing. Initially, and I believe Volker is the same, our contributions to Samba started in spite of what our companies were paying us to do. And in fact, back in the day before anyone cared about licensing and how much time was spending on things, a lot of Samba was written basically while we were being paid to do something else. And I think that's probably still going to be the case. So although things look a little bad in the world right now, hopefully the future of Linux, Samba, open source and the rest of it is still bright. And we can hopefully help illuminate some of the dark times in our industry and possibly the world. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Tom. Sorry for leaving you on a downer, Tom. Hopefully you can cheer us all up. But I'd like to welcome Tom Talpe, and thank you so much for coming here.